I'm just going to mute my TV, honestly. I don't have to worry about it. We won't be here long anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your Stardom Sendai Cinderella 2020 preview and predictions. We have got 8 matches on this show to predict, including, I believe, 5. That's right, 5 championship matches, as well as Lady C's second match ever in the company, and Mysterious ZZ's second ever match in the company as well. So we've got quite a bit to predict here. We're also going to be predicting who ZZ is, etc., etc. John, we've been talking for a while now about how stacked this card is, how excited we are to actually see this show, especially the top 2 title matches in general, or specifically, but just kind of overall, this is a really loaded card, isn't it?
Oh my god, dude. Stardom is flexing with this show big time. And you know I've been talking about for the longest time the doubleheader. The Giulia versus Konami matchup for the Wonder of Stardom Championship and Mayu versus Utami for the World of Stardom Championship.
Yep.
But, I mean, you've also got other matches like Momo versus Himeka, which should be a very interesting matchup. And I'd have to believe that Momo and this next woman are on a collision course. The SWA International Champion beat Priestley, defending against Syuri. As far as strikes go, that should be a very interesting contest. Even some of the tag matches look a bit interesting. Again, Tam, Mina, and ZZ versus Natsuko, Saki, and Rina. Just to see ZZ, that's going to be very interesting. And then MAIKA versus Iida. I can honestly see a title change there, believe it or not. But we'll get into that more, and I'll make a final verdict. We'll see if I stick to that or not. Lady C's debut should be very cool. So, yeah, Stardom's bringing their A-game on this show for sure.
Yeah, again, this is going to be the second match that we see Lady C in, as well as ZZ, because they're both technically debuting on the November 14th show.
Yes, that's
right. It already happened, but obviously we haven't reacted to it yet, so... You know, I'm actually, you know what, just because I just reminded myself of that, I'm actually going to say in the chat, reminder, we have not seen the November, oh, what the hell? It just took my focus away, that's weird. November 14th show. Do not spoil anything that happened on that show, or we will ban you on the spot. Boom, there we go. And I'm going to pin that. Boom, there we go. Perfect. I don't know if I even really need to pin anything for this show because it seems like we're not going to have the biggest audience for a Stardom preview prediction. But that being said, I am ready to start talking about this card if you are.
Oh, yeah, man. Let's get into it.
All right. Our first match is listed as the Future of Stardom Championship match. MAIKA Iida, you said that you think there might actually be a title change here. I'm very curious what led you to that kind of logic.
Well, we saw in the 3-way where MAIKA won the title that Iida is very capable of beating MAIKA. But this is one-on-one, and I think that is a markedly different situation. MAIKA, I think, is a part of one of the most dominant factions in Stardom right now. DDM has been on an absolute fucking roll. I feel like even when they lose, they win because they're just so consistently strong in their spot. You know what I mean? So she's in a great position right now. I think I'm going to remain conservative here. And I'm going to say MAIKA retains, but I'm just making it clear that if Saya does walk out with the title, I will not be the least bit surprised. I think Stardom's going out of their way to say this woman is capable of getting it done. Yeah. The question is she just going to get it done in the show? But I think, again, I will take the more conservative route. I will say MAIKA retains.
I also just want to kind of add in here, Saya Iida beat MAIKA one time in that Future of Stardom match. It was kind of odd. It was almost like a rock, paper, scissors thing because Saya Kamitani had Iida's number, beat her twice, but then also lost to MAIKA twice. Iida beat MAIKA once and then lost to her the second time. So they went 1-1 against each other in that match alone. And even since then, I think, didn't MAIKA also beat Iida in the 5-star as well?
She probably did, because we know Iida, I think, only got one win, and that was because she faced Natsuko Tora, who I think got the DQ.
Yep, I'm looking at it right here. MAIKA beat Iida in just over 7 minutes in the 5 stars. So I am relatively confident that MAIKA is going to retain here. I'm going to tell you straight up, dude, I think Hanan is eventually going to be the one to take that Future of Stardom title off of MAIKA, if anyone does. Because there's still a chance that she could pull an Utami and just end up holding the title until she has to relinquish it. But if anyone is going to beat her for it, I think it's actually going to be Hanan.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. I could see that, man. I could absolutely see that. I think Hanan's definitely on the come up. So we'll see.
All right, so we got one match out of the way. We've got 7 left, and that's our last title match for a little while, because our next match is a 3-on-3 match involving the second match that we'll be getting from Lady C. The first is going to be against Iida on the previous day on 11/14. But this is a 6-woman tag. We've got Starlight Kid, Riho, and Hanan versus Kamitani, Hina, and again, Lady C. So I guess the question here is, I think we both predicted. Wait, did you say that Iida would beat Lady C, or did we both say that Lady C might actually get the upset over Iida in her first inner?
I thought she'd get the upset win. That's what I was thinking.
So we both said that, but now the question becomes, is she going to be able to overcome the power of Riho, Starlight Kid, and Hanan? Because I don't think so.
No, not with the team she's got. Because I love Kamitani, but I think Hina is going to be the Achilles heel here. Yeah. So, yeah, I would also, go Riho,
I was even going to ask you, if we agree that team is losing, can we agree that Hina will be the one to eat the pin rather than Lady C? Because that's kind of a big deal in and of itself to be a brand new rookie and not eat the pin in a tag match.
Yeah, I think Hina will eat the pin, honestly. Okay. That's kind of my feeling,
Yeah, we're kind of on the same page there. Do we even want to bother trying to guess who's going to get the pin? Because
No, that's excessive. We can just keep moving on.
Yeah, so then we've got the 3-on-3 stars, I guess, versus Oedo-Tai. I only say kind of stars, I guess, because it seems like Tam is kind of trying to start her own little sub-faction within stars. But it is Tam, Mina, and ZZ versus Natsuko, Tora, Saki, Kashima, and Rina. In my eyes, as much as I have been loving Rina in Oedo-Tai, she's the clear-cut weak spot in this match that will eat the pin. I'm just wondering who pins her. But again, we're not predicting that, so we'll just kind of say, I think that the Stars team here is going to win.
Yeah, complete agree. No need to even really go into this any further, because, with Rina there, I think it's fairly obvious.
Again, we agree, ZZ is most likely Himawari Unagi, right?
Yeah, I'll go with you on that.
That would make sense. So then we get back into the title matches, and I think we only have one, and then we have the one non-title match, and then 3 title matches in a row. So we've got Azumi defending that high-speed title against Gokigen-DEATH. I feel like this is designed to be a filler and a pad Azumi's title reign out match. I think Rossi already knows that Natsupoi is the next high-speed champion. He's just trying to buy a little bit of time so that Azumi's first high-speed title reign can look pretty legit, right?
Yeah, I'm in practically complete agreement with you, because either Natsupoi or even May could be the
Hoshizuki, yeah.
Hoshizuki, yeah. Because, those seem to be, the 2 really big threats, right?
Yeah.
So, I completely agree with you. I think Azumi deals with Gokigen-DEATH pretty handily here.
I would be pretty happy if we got Azumi versus Mei Hoshizuki, where Azumi would retain there, and then maybe she drops the title to Natsupoi at either year-end climax or the anniversary show. We'll see.
Yeah, I could see that.
So, I honestly wouldn't even mind if they did that the other way around, because I want Natsupoi to be the next champ, but it would be really interesting to see a woman from another company win a championship that's been pretty much exclusively a Stardom title for almost a decade at this point.
Yeah, that would be a very interesting development for sure.
Yeah, so then we get to our last non-title match. I'm wondering, because they're calling this a special singles match, I'm wondering if this is going to have any, contendership implications, maybe because it's Momo Watanabe versus Himeka. I'm thinking if Himeka wins, maybe SWA title shot, maybe, Goddess title shot with Syuri or something like that. If Momo wins, though, you've got to think she's got her mind on the red belt for sure.
I mean, this one is actually a tougher match to call than it may seem at first glance, because we have no idea if Momo Oz are going to win the Goddess belts. because if
That's
they
true.
do,
that's a great point. Yeah.
If they do, I could see Himeka winning this to get her and Syuri locked up.
Do we just want to go off of what we predicted last night, though? Because I think we both predicted Aphrodite to retain.
Yeah, you're right. So I think we should just go with what we predicted. And given that, I'll give Momo the win here just to get some momentum back. Because I don't think Momo's going to get a rematch with Mayu at the next anniversary show, given that she just did it like this year. But I do think she's going to wear that red belt sooner rather than later. So you always want to keep her somewhat strong. I'm going to go with Momo here. Plus, Himeka, I don't know, man. We got to figure, too, Himeka, like, personally, even though she did get a win recently to be close to the finals, she still ate the pin for a team that eliminated her because Mayu beat her. I think Himeka's going to have a complex about her place in DDM because she couldn't beat Giulia for the white belt, and Giulia's, like, top tier, right? And then MAIKA pinned her to eliminate her in the tag league. Yep. And because Syuri didn't eat the pin, she's got to feel inferior to her own partner because, well, she didn't get pinned, I did. Right. And then, well, if you're really trying to fight Natsuko, which nothing against Natsuko, but you're in two completely different weight classes, two completely different divisions. You know, like, that's just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, DDM is 5 women, but if we're just, you know, really looking at it, it's like there's a 4-woman group of, like, heavyweights that are going to be fighting for, like, world titles and tag titles and stuff, and then Natsuko feels like she's in a completely different company, even though they're in the same group.
Precisely. So I think knowing that, I think it's going to be like a struggle for Himeka. So I think Momo beats her here. I think like putting aside titles, putting aside all that, and just focusing on Himeka, I think the story is that she's going to continue to struggle, and Momo wins here.
Okay, so our next match is B defending against Syuri, and the reason I'm jumping a little bit here is because I do want to say I think B retains, but I'm saying that because I want to kind of tie everything together. I think that Momo Oz will lose their tag title shot and then win both of their matches the following night, with Momo beating Himeka and Azumi retaining against Gokigen. But then I think that Himeka will run back to Syuri because I think Syuri is also going to lose her opportunity at a singles title. I think that Grab Top are going to stay as a tag team and challenge for the Goddess belts then.
Yeah, dude, I still have this vision of DDM not being done with gold, so I actually can completely co-sign onto your vision.
Yeah.
I see that. So I'll even co-sign here that I also think B is going to retain it, even without all those considerations. B recently won the title. I don't think she's losing it that quickly. If anything, dude, I feel like they're building it up for Momo to beat it from her because she keeps saying Momo sucks. Like, that's
I think that that's kind of weird. I don't actually think that they're going to do that, though. And if they do, I think that it's really hard to call because we got to remember B beat Momo to win the title in the first place.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. It just feels weird that they would have this like running riff with B without there being a payoff.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, but I also feel like because B literally just won the title, like, was it like a month ago? Maybe not even a full month ago? And she beat Momo to win it. I don't think Momo's going to get another shot at that title for a long time. Like, I could see at least 6 more months going by before Momo gets another shot at B, and that's assuming B even holds on to the title that long. Right?
Yeah. There's a lot of things to consider for sure.
Yeah. So I'm not necessarily betting on Momo winning the title directly from B. I am honestly not even necessarily betting on Momo ever holding the SWA title because there's a non-zero chance to me that she never holds that title because within the next 6 months, like I said, she could win the fucking red belt for all we know. She could even win the white belt. I don't know. But I don't think she would go after the SWA title if she had one of those 2 major singles titles. And I do think she's very much like red hot, ready, like fully due for one of those 2 titles. I know she literally is like 2 or 3 champions removed from being the white belt champion already. But, there have been multi-time white belt champions. It's not like it's one of those belts where you win it once and then never win it again.
Right, exactly, yeah.
So, I don't know. But yeah, I think Momo beats Himeka. I think Azumi retains against Gokigen. I think B retains against Syuri. But then I think Syuri and Himeka challenge Aphrodite for the tag titles because we also agree that we think that they're going to retain against Momo Oz. So that's kind of where I'm going with this. I don't even think they would necessarily beat Aphrodite for those titles, but it would be a good way for them to both get some momentum back because they would be coming off of pretty big losses, right?
Right, yeah, I think you're right on the money here. I completely agree with you.
Then we get to our big doubleheader. Here we go. We have got the Wonder of Stardom Championship, Giulia, the champion, defending against Konami, the challenger. I have struggled with this more than any other match on this card. I really want to pick Konami, but then you look at Giulia, and it's like, are they really going to have her lose the title this early? But then there's also that thought in my mind that's like, well, yeah, but also maybe Giulia's just ready to move on to the red belt, right? So I'm like really torn here. I want to hear what you pick before I tell you what I'm picking.
Okay, well, I'm guessing we're going to diverge here, I think. So here's my thing. I've made my peace with these matches in a way, and I don't necessarily like how I've made my peace, but we'll get to that. Giulia's been a phenomenal champion. I know her reign, I think, has been relatively short, comparable to other champions, but I've enjoyed it. She's got presence. I love her, and that's no joke. You know, that's no trolling. Like, I think we're all big Giulia fans. I mean, I don't have to ask Javaris. Straight up calls her fucking waifu, right? Since Black Widows lost the tag league, like to me, Konami making this whole shift to Oedo and getting rid of sorry, I saw the chat. And getting rid of Jungle and all that stuff. I don't want that to be for nothing narratively. I'm going all in, dude. I think we will see a big title change here. I think Konami's winning the title. I think in fact, I know I said we'd kind of avoid doing it, but in this case, fuck it. I'm going to flex a little bit. I think she's going to make Giulia tap out to the triangle arm lock again. I think that submission is so goddamn lethal. She gets that in on Giulia, it's over. I really believe it's Konami's time, dude. And you know what? I would say, for me, and again, I'm giving you a lot of time to just prep whatever you're going to say, I think she's more ready for the white belt now than when she challenged Arisa for it several months ago. I think she's a completely different situation. Like, I buy her winning it more now than I would have back then because Arisa was unfucking touchable. Yeah. I still miss that woman to this day, for the record. Like, I really think she was building a body of work to argue that she was the best wrestler in the world. So Konami beating her then, I would have popped because you know what a huge Konami fan I am. This is even beyond fandom, I swear to you. Because I'm looking at how different Konami is now to what she was then. She's ready for a big title, dude. I think it's her time. I'm going to go with her winning.
Yeah, and this was the trigger that I was hesitant to pull, but you going all in on it has got me all in on it. I'm also going to pick Konami to win here. I think it's also a matter of, like, Oedo Tai finally feels like a real faction right now. Like, it felt very, like, incomplete, very sort of almost like larval, like in its larval stages earlier on this year, when it was pretty much just Kashima and Natsuko Tora and maybe Natsu every now and then when she showed up. Now, though, you've got Konami, you've got B, you've got Rina. It feels more like a complete faction. And the thing is, it's not even actually complete yet because you've still got Jamie over in the UK waiting to come back. I think this is Konami's time. I think it's finally, I honestly wish I could go back and hear what we were saying leading up to the year-end climax, because I want to know if I was ready to pull the trigger then or if I was all in on Arisa retaining. But I think I'm ready to pull my Konami all belts trigger. Not literally, but in this sense, I do think she is going to win the title, get Oedo Tai that credibility. And I think we also predicted that DDM would retain the artist titles as well. So really, it would really, like, put Oedo Tai in that desperation position, because it would be like, shit, like, that was our one shot at easy gold. We could have had 3 different people with a title by just winning one match, and it's like we blew it kind of thing. And now we need to ensure that I think they're going to be really smart. I think they're going to cheat. I don't think that Konami's going to win this clean. I do agree with you that she's probably going to get Giulia to tap out, but I don't think that she's going to get there cleanly. I do think that we're going to get some cheating here. I wouldn't be surprised if we got some fucking chain action, and I would hate it, but I do think Konami's going to win. I do think we're going to have a new white belt champion, and that leads us to our main event. Mayu Iwatani defending the red belt, the World of Stardom Championship, against Utami Hayashishita. And I'm just going to jump the gun right away. I have Mayu retaining here.
Oh, man. Okay, I want to be very exact here. I got no problem with Mayu right? I think Mayu is adorable. I think she's a fucking workhorse. I think she's the Tanahashi of her time. And Tanahashi's still wrestling. I'm just saying, like, I really feel like she was a big reason Stardom's even still going and was able to see the light with this Bushiroad deal and everything. I think the debt that this company has to her, you know, we may even be understating it at times, at my estimation. I hate this, though, because I love Utami.
Yeah.
I love her story. How she came in and, like, that was just owning shit. And I feel like she's so goddamn close to being world champion. But you're not going to do two big title changes, in my mind, on one show. Mm-hmm. I can already hear Mayu saying, you know, Konoha, you know, doing the whole thing. I hate it, though, because I want Utami to win so bad. But I think logically, since we're predicting, and when you predict, you should at least strive to be accurate and be rational. I'm going to be rooting for Utami so hard. I've made no bones about that. But I do think Mayu retains. However, I will stand by my one unique prediction. I think it's going to be one of the hardest defenses Mayu's ever had. I could even see Utami kicking out of that two-stage dragon suplex, I've been saying. But I think, you know what, it'll be like the New Japan thing, where you kick out of a high-impact move and nobody can believe it, but you have nothing left to fucking fight with when they hit you with another high-impact move, and that's the 3 count. Yeah. That's what it's going to fucking be.
So it could literally be as simple as two-stage dragon, kick out at 2.999, moonsault, that's it.
Moonsault, or she could just put her in the Mayu Dragon Sleeper that we fucking love, and Utami passes out.
I don't think Utami's flexible enough to do that, though.
Well, we'll see. Wow, Chavaris is picking Utami. Jesus Christ.
Well, he did say he's going to support his 2 waifus from the sofa. Although that might have been referring to Giulia and Konami. So I think he's just going all in on all of his waifus in this match, or on this card.
Bruh, how have none of your honeymoons been in divorce court? Regardless, though, yeah, I wish I could confidently say Utami's winning. I think she's so close. I mean, look, I'm going to be honest. I see her winning that red belt in 2022, the earliest. Because I don't even know if she's going to win it in 2021, because I see the big title holders then being Giulia and maybe Momo. I think Utami, I think it's more realistic to look at a 2022 run. That's just my opinion. And even then, I don't know how they're going to handle Jungle if and when she comes back. Because I could see them doing a major story with her, too.
I do have a question and then a few thoughts. So my question is, has Utami actually beaten Mayu at any point leading up to this?
No, she has not.
Okay, that makes me more confident that Mayu's going to win here. My second question, though, is, or not my second, I don't have a second question, but my first thought is, remember the discussion that we had about Giulia not losing to the same person twice?
Yeah.
Konami beat her in the 5-star.
That is true.
That concerns the shit out of me. Which brings me to my second thought. I wonder if Giulia retains and then Utami eventually beats her for the white belt.
That would be interesting, because Utami needs something. See, now a white belt...
Because Utami hasn't beaten Giulia recently either. But she could fail her way, quote-unquote, fail her way, down from the red belt to the white belt, in a sense. She could go from losing to the red belt champion to challenging the white belt champion without really needing to beat her. You know what I mean? Because we've seen that before in wrestling companies where, like, someone will lose a world title match and then without even really needing to interact much with the Intercontinental champion, they'll challenge them for the title and win it, right?
Exactly, yeah.
I could see Utami doing that. But again, that presumes Giulia retains, which, again, because of the fact that Konami beat her in the 5-star, that actually makes me feel more likely that Giulia will retain. Because we have said, we literally just had this conversation like yesterday. Giulia never loses to the same person the same way twice in a row. She lost to Tam one time, beat her ass in the next match. She lost to Himeka once, beat her in the next. Like, Giulia has been really good, really cerebral, really good at making sure that if she loses to somebody, she goes out of her way to prevent them from beating her with the same strategy that they used the first time. It's almost like, and I know that this is going to go over a lot of people's heads, but it reminds me of the Patriots in the way that they could be losing in the first half, and they'll know, like, okay, they're beating us, so they're not going to change anything. We need to change what we're doing to beat them. That's Giulia. she'll say she beat me, so she knows how she beat me the one time. She's going to assume that she'll be able to beat me that same exact way the second time. I'm not going to let her do that, right?
Yeah, and you know what I love about that, to use like a wrestling parallel, because you said people might not get it with the parallel with Patriots. That kind of has some, and I mean this in the best way, that kind of has some Ric Flair energy to me. Because I always used to hear all the time that he'd lose like a lot of matches, but he would always win the title match.
Right.
And that's the thing with Giulia. Like, she could lose the tag match or the singles match or whatever. And yeah, like when it comes game time for the title match, like she has him scouted and she's well prepared. That's some queen tier shit, man. Holy fuck.
Like I'm still like leaning Konami, but it went from like 75-25 to like 55-45. So
are we gonna make a? Oh no, you said you're still leaning Konami.
Yeah,
because you almost got me.
I'm still leaning Konami. I'm still like, okay. I hope that this is just like a small sample size problem where it's just me trying to make a connection where it's not going to really be sticky and it's not going to stay that way. But it is still a concern for me for sure. So I'm gonna cling to my obsession with wanting bigger sample sizes and assuming that just because something's happened a couple times that it's not necessarily a rule. I'm gonna pick Konami here and hope that it's a small sample size thing and it's not like an actual rule. So I will say if Konami does lose here, I'm never gonna pick against Giulia in a rematch ever again, as long as she lost the first match.
Well, you know what, dude, since we're kind of like just going back over, I think that logic, I think I am going to switch to Giulia. Since the video's not over yet, and I like to think that until a video ends, like our predictions aren't really locked in.
Wow.
I think I'll switch and I'll say Giulia retains, but then that begs the question, do I stand by Utami losing here? And I think I do.
Yeah.
Because I think we've had before big shows where the champions just do retain and we don't have.
Absolutely. Well, dude, do you remember what the last big show was?
Well, I was even going to say, right, wasn't that like Syuri, Mayu, and then Giulia Tam, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, and both the champions retained. So it's not unprecedented for Stardom to have a card this stacked, and it's not like they're saying to themselves, oh, we got to have a title change. So I'm going to go with both champions retaining. I think you made a great point about Giulia. And here's the thing, too, dude, that we really haven't talked about. And I know like we're having more discussions than I anticipated us having, honestly. But I know we were kind of talking that if Arisa was still healthy, that like Rossi wanted to do for the anniversary show, white belt champion versus red belt champion. Who's to say with how they've built up Giulia and they've protected her that they still don't want to do that? And they're just going to say, fuck it and do it with Giulia. Like, is that honestly like,
you know what, though?
Table?
I think that was less about I want to do red belt versus white belt and more about I want to do my 2-star first generation students against each other between a
right. That's fair. That's
because
fair.
Like they literally debuted against each other on the first ever Stardom show. They are like the definition of OG. So I don't really think that was necessarily as much about the titles as it was about the company's origin, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think I'll go.
That's why I keep saying, like, I would love it if they would bring Kairi back for the anniversary show, because that's, like, as close to an origin piece that you could put against Mayu as you can get. Like, the only other option really would be Saki, and we already just had that, and it was, like, a good match, but it's also, like, the power levels are so disparate at this point, it's not even fair.
God, I know like Stardom would never do this, so I'm literally just spitballing with you here in our space.
Right.
But it'd be insane to me, like if Kairi beat Mayu for the title, but then because she said like I want to face Utami, that's where Utami ultimately does win the red belt, right?
See, now that I would love. And you know what, too? Like, that's been, like, a big rumored thing. I know a lot of people have said, like, they think that we're going to get Kairi versus Utami at the anniversary show. Maybe we'll get Kairi Mayu at the fucking year-end climax. I mean, we're speculating purely here because Kairi hasn't even shown up yet. But maybe we'll get Kairi beat Mayu for the red belt at the year-end climax, and then Utami beats her for that same red belt at the anniversary show. Because I've actually heard... now, I think somebody said something about a Rossi interview where he said that he was thinking about doing the anniversary show in March instead of January, which is like, what the fuck? So I don't even know anymore. All I know is I think that Mayu is going to retain. I am sticking with Konami winning the title. You changed your mind, though, so you're sticking with Mayu, but you're flipping over to Giulia retaining, right?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, that's it. That's our predictions. Anything else that you want to say before we close out of here?
No, I'm very much looking forward to this show. So yeah, I'm fucking hyped for it. We can't get uploaded fast enough, and really the 14th, I'm not even hating on that either, because Momo Live has been fucking fire with the tag matches. So
yeah, dude, that's the thing. Yeah, it's like that 14th show isn't as loaded as this because it doesn't have like the big singles titles on the line, but it is still looking really compelling because it does have like the 2 big debuts on it. You know, we've got Lady C debuting. We're gonna find out who ZZ is. We've got the artist titles on the line and the tag titles on the line. So that's going to be a really fun show, too. That'll be Wednesday. And then this show, the Sendai Cinderella show, that'll be Friday. So I'm pretty stoked about both of them. Honestly, we might end up having to move the Sendai Cinderella show back to 4 because it might go a smidge over 3 hours since it is like a big, or not even Korakuen. It's a Sendai Sun Plaza show. It's a big deal, though. It's 8 matches. So like it might end up going over 3 hours.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm hyped for it all the same. I hope everybody that joined us for his preview will be there for this. So, yeah, that's all I got to say. And, guys, be sure to leave a like as you file out. We greatly appreciate it. Subscribe, click the bell icon so you don't miss any of that troll goodness. I'd ask you to comment, but I don't want to invite spoilers, and I feel like you guys predicted these matches along with us, so no need to do that this time. You can find everything that we're a part of in the description box. And I'm just going to hand it over to Ashton to get us out of here.
All right, excellent, ladies and gentlemen. We do hope that you all enjoyed the preview predictions here. Like John said, I know a lot of people that are here look at spoilers. If you haven't looked at spoilers yet, and I'm being fucking serious, if you haven't been spoiled, then go ahead and leave a comment. Let us know what you think's going to happen. But if you've been spoiled and you leave a comment and you get everything right, you're getting fucking banned. I don't give a shit. So maybe your best bet would be to just not leave a comment, because if someone posts a comment and it ends up being 100% correct, you're getting banned. I don't care. That being said, if you did enjoy, like the video, subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, follow us on Twitter and Twitch, and if you would like to support us, you can also subscribe on Twitch, buy our merch on Teespring, donate to our Patreon, and share this channel and this video with all your wrestling fan friends. Let them in on the best kept secret in the YouTube and Twitch wrestling communities, because we are TwitWow, and we are the workhorses of the YNTWC, and we will be seeing you all on Monday night for our Raw review. And then we've also got a recent request come through the line from the Chiefin to live react to Survivor Series 1998, Tuesday afternoon at 4 p.m., and then Wednesday is not this show, it's the show before this, it's the 11/14 show, which is a Korakuen show. That's worth noting. I feel like this 11/14 show is being completely overlooked because of how stacked the 11/15 show is, but the 11/14 show with the tag titles on the line and the artist titles on the line and the debuts of ZZ and Lady C, that is a Korakuen show. That's like a big deal show for Stardom, but now Korakuen shows are starting to get not outclassed, but like outshined by these big shows like the Maeba Green Dome Yamada and now the Sendai Sun Plaza. It's pretty cool that Stardom's like, yeah, Korakuen's great, and those are going to be like mini pay-per-views too, but we're going to have actual pay-per-views now. It's kind of amazing. I love it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you all enjoyed. We hope that you're all looking forward to Stardom this week and our reviews and the live reaction to Survivor Series 1998. And we hope to see you at any and all of them. But in order for that to happen, we just need you